We often spend a lot of time focusing on the things that we can't control. And we've all heard it before to focus on the things that we can control. So, what are the things that we can control when it comes to our finances? Well, you can't control when an emergency happens, when you're going to have an expense that just pops up out of nowhere. But you can control how much you have as an emergency fund. And that's cash set aside in case life happens. Your car breaks down, something happens with your house, your kids break. So, do you have an emergency fund, and is it properly funded? Is there enough cash to cover between 6 and 12 months of expenses? An emergency fund is very, very important to your financial security. You can't control what the market does, its ups and downs, and how much volatility that we see in the short term. But you can control how much you're saving and investing. You have control over your expenses and the ability to try to keep them low, and then putting that excess cash to work. And when it comes to putting it to work, you control how you invest it. How are your hard-earned resources working for you? What are you investing in? Is the level of risk that you're taking on appropriate for you? Is it something that you feel comfortable with? And do you have an overall investment plan that's going to help you figure out which investments are going to be best for you? That stuff is in your control. You can't, unfortunately, control tax laws, but you can control your tax planning and how tax efficient you're going to be over your lifetime. Are you diversifying your tax liability through different accounts like pre-tax, after-tax, and Roth? Are you finding ways to be more tax efficient like tax loss harvesting? Now, this is within your control. When it comes to work, you can't control your employment status and even how much you're getting paid in your current role. But you can control your employability. Are you constantly learning and training to make yourself a more attractive employee to employers? Are you doing those things to help put yourself in a better position to earn more money? And are you asking for raises that are going to keep pace with inflation? Or are you applying to jobs outside of your current company to make sure you're keeping your earning power? Again, that is something you have control over. And finally, you can't control your death, but you do have control over your estate plan. How will your hard-earned assets be distributed upon your passing? Who will they go to? How much will go to these people or these organizations? And how? Is it all at once? Is it certain ages? And if you have dependents, who are going to take care of your dependents? And how will they take care of your dependents? While we can't control our own death, we can control how our money, how our assets get handled upon our passing. There is a lot that we can't control, and we can spend all day, all night thinking about those things. But there's also a lot that we have within our control that we should be focusing on. And this is why we do financial planning. It helps us to focus on the things that we can control, ignore the things that we can't, and gives us a plan on how we can achieve the life that we want. Are you planning for the future and are you taking control? Or are you worrying about the things that you have no control over? The choice is yours.